Hey kids,
Yeah.
do you want to help raise money for charity?
Yeah.
Haha, do you have any money? Of course not, but thanks to the sponsor of this intro, you don't need any. When you install Tab for a Cause, every time you open a new browser tab, you help raise money for a charity of your choice. Click the link in the description to install the free browser plugin that's so far raised almost $1 million for charity. Install it on your computer, install it on your dog's computer, install it everywhere. Take over the world. For charity.
Ah, technology, where would we be without ye?
I don't think enough people appreciate just how incredible technology has become in the last few decades, so I'm gonna do it for you. For most of humanity, each generation has had essentially the same lifestyle as their parents. After we invented the wheel, humans did like nothing for thousands of years. Come on, past humanity, get it together. But now, we're in an age where our lives are significantly different from what they were even a decade ago. Modern technology changed the way we learn, play, socialize, work, travel, you name it. In the blink of an eye, every aspect of life has been radically altered, which as far as I know, has never happened before. I didn't get a phone until I was 14, and even then I could only make calls, so it was, useless. I asked my mom if I could get texting because that's how all my friends talked to each other, but you can imagine how it sounds through a parent's ears when their kid says, "Everyone else has it." Yeah, okay. Fast forward a year, and my mom, sister, and I were visiting some family. Sitting at a restaurant, all of the kids were texting each other except me. My mom saw them all laughing and sending secret messages to each other, and she realized that texting had, in fact, become a pretty important part of teenagers' social lives, and she felt awful that I was getting left out. After the trip, she was adamant about getting me a new phone that I could text with ASAP. It was actually really sweet. Would have been nice if she had, listened the first time, but it's whatever. Of course, the biggest example of a technology that's dramatically changed daily life is the internet. Think about it. You can find the answer to practically any question instantly. Are you kidding me? That's an absolute god-tier superpower. How do I change my oil? Bam, video walkthrough. What's the answer to this math problem? Boom, Wolfram Alpha. How do I make shortbread? Kerblamo, a delicious recipe with a wholly unnecessary personal story. The internet is the greatest tool humanity has ever devised, and even it's radically changed during my lifetime. When I was in elementary school, we got dial-up internet, which is where your computer uses the house phone to call a different computer and swap JPEGs with bleeps and bloops. It was incredibly slow, and it was magical. I remember waiting for over an hour for a flash animation to load, and it was the funniest thing I had ever seen. The first YouTube video I ever watched was OKGo's treadmill video, and since it took so long to buffer, I wound up watching it over and over while it loaded, each time getting just a few more seconds. Since the internet went over the phone line, you could break it by picking up the phone and pressing a bunch of buttons, or by using a paperclip to short the second and third contacts in the wall jack. So, when you get into a fight with your sister and she forces you off the family computer that you're supposed to share, you can go to your room and get sweet revenge by kicking her offline, and when she bursts in accusing you of tampering with the phone, you can reply with an innocent, "But how? I don't have a phone in my room," and she'll storm off, defeated but still suspicious, except you're not the bad guy because you didn't get to use the internet all day yesterday, so it was definitely your turn and she deserved it. These days, buffering is a thing of the past for most people, but more importantly, now I can watch any movie whenever I want. Any movie! When I was a young baby child, if I wanted to see a movie, I had to beg my mom to take me to Blockbuster and pray they had it in stock. Getting a hold of a specific movie was an ordeal, and if you decided that you weren't really feeling it, too bad! We paid for that bad boy, so we will be watching it until the end of the credits, and we will be kind, and we will rewind, because we are law-abiding citizens, and I will be damned if Blockbuster is gonna charge me a fee to press a button and wait! R.I.P. Blockbuster, you will be missed. I feel like an old man telling stories about back in my day, but that's kind of the point. This wasn't that long ago, and things have already advanced so much. The internet is the foundation that almost every other recent life-changing technology has been built on. It seems like it can do anything. Perhaps it even has an answer to the most important question of all. How do I find love? Well, there's always Tinder. I remember when I first got a smartphone, and suddenly I had access to the internet everywhere. Being able to use your location to get context-specific information like directions and... Okay, it's mostly directions, but that's super useful. I know all of this has been around for a while and it's become boring to most people, but guys, how are we not all constantly freaking out about this? Smartphones especially can just do so much. I could write, shoot, and edit an entire film on this little thing in my pocket. You probably wouldn't want to, but you could. A modern smartphone is basically that watch from Spy Kids that literally does everything except tell time, except my phone also has a clock. Take that, Danny Trejo. It used to be that getting a job required going door to door and giving your resume to business after business until eventually you got a call for an interview. Or so I've been told, because today every job application is online. But for some reason, everyone over the age of, 40 doesn't seem to understand that's not how the world works anymore. If you walk into a business, resume in hand, asking for an application, you'll be given nothing but a confused look by the guy behind the counter as he eventually realizes that your mom must be waiting for you outside. And of course you already know this, but applications are on their website, he'll tell you. Information that you'll take back to the silver Hyundai Elantra idling in the parking lot, this time unable to be ignored. And because I know she's watching, don't worry, Mom Tom. Literally everyone my age had that exact experience. I love you. Anyway, I know things are kind of blah right now, but technology is amazing, and especially right now, I'm just like, I love the internet. That's all. Also, I just thought about this. Can we all take a moment to appreciate how frickin' cool AirPods are? When I was a kid, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have headphones without a cable? Too bad that's impossible. But apparently it's not. Don't forget to install Tab for a Cause, and since you made it this far, why not watch some of my other videos? I bet you'll like them. Okay, bye.